Be careful of who you fall for. The cautionary tale of Jennifer Levin.
I didn't mean to hurt her. I liked her very much.
Jennifer fell head over heels for Upper East Side it boy Robert Chambers. But Jennifer's preppy boyfriend wasn't who she thought he was. This is a story that shook New York City to its core. Hey guys, I'm Kendra Sommer and welcome to True Crime Commute, true crime stories that are great for your drive to work, school, or wherever you're headed. On August 26, 1986, 18-year-old Jennifer Levin was found in Central Park, her body located near a tree. Her bra and shirt were pulled up, and it looked like she had gone through a struggle. There was red marks and bruising around her neck. The question at large was who could have committed such a heinous crime? Jennifer had moved to Long Island, New York, and relocated to Manhattan a few years ago. She was attending the prestigious Baldwin School. She was popular, got along with her classmates, and was even voted best looking. And it wasn't very long before she started running in the same circles as Robert Chambers. Robert was born September 25th of 1966. He was handsome, tall, piercing blue eyes, a real ladies' man. He mingled with the wealthy elite on the Upper East Side. He drove his BMW everywhere, went shopping at Tiffany's, and was labeled preppy. However, he'd been expelled from Boston University for stealing credit cards and using drugs. So Robert was back home living with his mother in New York. One night, Jennifer was at the popular bar Dorian's Red Hand. Robert was a regular here. She immediately spots Robert at the bar. Her friends try to warn her that he's trouble, but Jennifer was intrigued. The two start talking and eventually have a casual sexual relationship. Jennifer's smitten, but Robert, his attention's beginning to waver. When she returned from a trip to LA, he had already started seeing someone else. When she ran into him at the bar, he was cold and distant. Jennifer interrupted him, and his 16-year-old girlfriend dramatically threw condoms at him, suggesting he use them on somebody else. Wow. Jennifer laughed, which humiliated Robert, but she still wanted to clear the air and see if they could get back together. So Jennifer was very excited when Robert asked her to leave with him when the bar was closing. Despite the fact that he was seeing other girls behind her back, she was still very excited to go with him. However, the next morning, Jennifer's half-naked body is discovered with bite marks and bruises in Central Park. Police determined that she had been murdered and also assaulted. Her underwear was found 50 yards from the scene. Police began to investigate, and as they did, a crowd began to form. Two women ran by, and they asked a man in his 20s, "What happened here?" He claimed not to know and then nonchalantly said it looks like a body was discovered or something. The women found him odd. He had scratches all over his face. And little did they know, this man, Robert Chambers, would become the #1 suspect in this case. Police quickly find out that the last place Jennifer was seen was with Robert at Dorian's Red Hand. When police arrive at his mother's apartment, they quickly find Robert with scratch marks all over his face. He claimed that the scratch marks were from his cat, despite the cat being declawed. He agreed to go with police down to the station, and he admitted having a relationship with Jennifer, but denied leaving with her at the bar. Detectives were skeptical, noting Robert's calm behavior despite the circumstances. When they pressed him further and said that Jennifer's friends had seen them together at the bar, he admitted that the scratches were from Jennifer and that they left together. He says that they went to Central Park, he broke up with her, she scratched him, tackled him to the ground, and then she tied him up with her underwear and tried to sexually assault him.
Having her way with me, without my consent, with my hands behind my back, hurting me.
So something's not adding up here because Robert was 6'5" and 200 pounds and Jennifer 110, 5'1". Robert claimed that he fought her off and accidentally strangled her in self-defense. With this, police had enough information to arrest him, and mugshots were quickly released to the press. The media quickly nicknamed him the Preppy Killer. Soon, the story was all over the headlines. Later on, an autopsy revealed that part of Robert's story was true. No semen was found. So he did not rape Jennifer. However, the autopsy found that Jennifer had been repeatedly punched on the side of the head. And the cause of death was not just strangulation. As the media spectacle grew, they ended up blaming Jennifer, saying that she was a sex fiend who wanted rough sex. And the media as a whole ended up taking the side of Robert. People fought for his release, worrying about his safety in the infamously famous Rikers Island prison. In court, people testified to Robert's nature, saying that he wasn't easily angered. Prosecutors, however, knew this was a lie, and they dug deep into Robert's past and found alcohol, drugs, and credit card fraud. However, the defense painted Jennifer as a promiscuous woman who slept around. This made her death even more painful for her family, who had to watch this false image of their daughter. Robert was indicted but was released on bond, allowing him to roam free for 2 years while the trial continued. He was frequently spotted at Tiffany's and driving around in his BMW around New York. Robert was represented by defense attorney Jack Littman, who was known for his intense legal strategies and going to great lengths to make sure his clients did not get a guilty verdict. Littman pushed the narrative that Jennifer was sex crazy and promiscuous, trying to shape the public's perception into his client's favor. In the fall of '87, Littman requested Jennifer's personal diary, claiming it contained sexual fantasies, and even asked other men to come in and testify. The diary was in the possession of Jennifer's father. The judge ended up rejecting this request, but it just showed the length that the defense team would go to try to paint Jennifer poorly. The trial officially began January 4th, 1988, and lasted 13 weeks. Prosecutor Linda Fairstein showed the jury graphic images of Jennifer's beaten body, dismantling Robert's story. She stated, in more than 8,000 cases of reported assaults in the last 10 years, this is the first in which a male reported being sexually assaulted by a female. Robert's team continued to claim that there was not enough evidence to convict him beyond a reasonable doubt. What followed was the longest jury deliberation in New York history. It lasted 9 days, and what happened was they could not come to a decision, so it ended up being a hung jury. To avoid a retrial, Robert accepted a plea deal for manslaughter and received a sentence of 5 to 15 years. Robert served the full 15 years and was released February 14, 2003. Just a year later, he was back behind bars for drug charges. In 2008, he pled guilty for selling drugs and received a 19-year sentence. Now, this was longer than the sentence that he received for killing Jennifer. Throughout the years, this case continues to fascinate the public and remain in the media. In fact, the band The Killers wrote the song "Jenny Was a Friend of Mine" about the case. On July 25th, 2023, Robert Chambers was released from prison. He now is a free man, which is a bitter reality as Jennifer's murderer walks free. Thanks for watching True Crime Commute, and if you have a case suggestion for us, make sure to send us an email here. We'll see you on the next one.